Okay, hello class. We are getting ready to go into week 2. Many of you are just getting ready to finish up week 1. So I try to, around the afternoon of every Sunday, just simply open up next week's work for those who do want to get ahead. But many of you are just kind of trying to finish up what was done before. So this isn't to make you feel rushed, just to kind of just make this available as needed. Okay. And I'm hoping this week to actually get a better microphone for, and maybe even possibly a video camera to make these announcements a little smoother experience for you, okay? And let's see. Oh yeah, on the textbook. Boy, wow, we've had a lot of textbook drama. I had someone get a hold of me from the bookstore, and I was not able to get back a hold of them in time. Apparently the textbook that came into MJC, I think it's the right textbook, but they slightly altered it's called the West, but it has a little bit different subtext to it, and the picture is different than the one that was before, but it's the same authors and ultimately the same title. But this has led some of the students to be nervous that it could be the wrong one, and they don't want to be stuck paying for a book that's wrong. I get it. I'm trying to get a hold of the book people to get some double confirmation for you to rest your minds. If you bought the one that was in the MJC bookstore and it's working out fine and it looks great, can you let me know right away so I can kind of post an announcement to let everybody know that in fact, don't worry about it, the one that's at the bookstore is the one that you need, okay? So I don't know why book companies would just do little changes like that. They know we're all stressed, and that you change something a little bit and there's like a massive meltdown, people freaking out. I mean, who wants to spend $60 on something, right? That's not the right thing. So you're going to be extra paranoid. I get it. So anyhow, hopefully we can settle that real soon. I've had some students getting a hold of me like today that's had problems all week. I want to emphasize to you guys, I have over 90 students, and I'm getting one more class opening up at the end of this month. So you really want to address any problems you're having with me right away. And keep in mind, I have like a 24-hour leeway to get a hold of you. I'm not obligated to get back a hold of people right away, okay? But I try. And so when I recommend to you about texting me or calling me, you should take that to heart. Now, also, I'll say again, I really am kind of, it's like you can send me messages anytime with Canvas 24 hours a day. On a work week, I don't mind if you text me a little bit earlier, but really I'm accessible 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Mainly. Those are the best windows that I have. And during the weekday, as I work, because I told you I have another job, getting me in the morning just before noon helps me answer any questions on my lunch break. I have an hour lunch break, and I try to at least devote 15 minutes of that time to getting back to you guys with any kind of issue, okay? So, I'm going to make that clear. In regards to tonight's work, some of you are going to wait last minute to do this. And actually, probably those of you who are doing that are probably listening to this message, not enough time to know this anyway. But do the best you can to figure it out. You can call me today. I'm going to be around grading for much of today. But ultimately, this week, I'm taking it easy on your guys' grading. And I'm giving you feedback if I want you to do it a little bit different, if you misunderstood me, okay? So you shouldn't panic too much about tonight's notes and paper, but right now is a good time to get a hold of me in the next few hours, and then around 8 o'clock tonight I'm shutting down, okay? So just to let you know. Okay, last thing, I bring this up in my lectures for this. I did last week and this week. There's something in particular about this week's assignment that I want to address. We're talking about the ancient Israel, the ancient Hebrews. Many of my students, as I saw, are very religious and active in your churches, and I'm, that's great. This is not like what I'm just trying to say is I'm addressing is that I have grown up in a very religious environment. Now, my own personal views now, I don't like to reveal so that people don't feel any pressure one way or the other. Just to say, I am very, very empathetic and understanding about the sensitivities anytime we deal with history that relates to religious history and how that feels to be religious, and kind of try to process that without having a strong emotional and intellectual reaction. Okay. What I just want you to understand, I'm sitting behind here Jewish and Christian text, Bibles, Kabbalah, Talmud. I had a lot of training in that in my life, and I've known a lot of friends who went to seminary. Seminary, actually, you'd be surprised. Much of what I'm teaching you is what most of an educated Christian or clergyman or a rabbi would be trained in. But it's not what they talk about at church, because in church you're going there to get spiritual nourishment, right? You're going there to get encouraged about how to live your life, not contemplating the complexities of the historical narrative of Joshua related to archaeology, right? So, just to make that clear, right? So, but this is important to know, because what I'm teaching you is kind of this mainstream understanding of biblical archaeology, the narratives that I'm saying. I'm not teaching you anything radical, but for those of you who have a first-time exposure to it, when you simply have a kind of a basic bread and butter church education, it can be a little jarring, and it feels attacky, even though, no matter how much I say this, that's not what it's meant to be. When you do the discussions and the announcements too, we're talking about Holy War. Again, try to think about this from this perspective. I, as your instructor, I have many of my own political and religious and philosophical views, right? My job is not to necessarily shoving that down your throat, but to teach you the status quo arguments, the mainstream arguments of thought from my field, of the information that's that is going on in the history realm. Okay. And so this is what you're doing too. So in other words, when we're talking about some of these topics, this is not a question about your theological, your own most personal belief, but it is you discussing the topic at hand and what is understood by, in this case, archaeologists and historians in this field. Okay? And, the other thing to say, I have friends who are aware of this history, believe actually in this history as I teach it, and are still very religious, which I'm not saying that that's the way you should be. I'm just simply saying there's a wide range of what people can do with the information they have. And I normally wouldn't give a kind of announcement this long on this topic, but I'm so aware of what gets generated in these discussions. I mean, even when I was at UC Santa Cruz, I took the class Ancient Israel, and a very religious Hasidic Jewish friend of mine in the class really would duke it out in arguments with my professor, really feeling like he wanted to advocate a certain point of view. So I guess I'm just saying I've been long exposed to the complexities of this week's assignment. I hope you actually find it enriching and enlightening, and it helps kind of make a more flavorful approach to your understanding of a topic that you may have a strong interest in, as opposed to feeling threatened by it or attacked by it. Feel free to call me up and even talk and elaborate on some of the points brought up if you would like. And for those of you who are not having this experience and kind of wondering what this conversation is about, well, I just want you to know, like I've said before, and I'm going to end it here, history always changes when it's more in the personal. If I tell you history about Russia and I'm really hard on Russia, if you're not Russian, it doesn't feel that big of a deal. Now, if I teach my U.S. history class and you have a very naive view about U.S. history, naive meaning you don't really understand the complexities of it, and then I break down some of the more harder, darker aspects of U.S. history, it just like it changes the way you feel, you know. So you know, just everybody should always be aware of that anytime, you know, we're dealing with a subject, a matter in any branch of academia or anything else. Anyways, I hope that you guys eventually are just going to enjoy this class as you figure out all the quirks. So again, I have many students. I try to get back to all of you. It's not so easy, but I'm trying. Please get in hold of me anytime that you can. And sorry that this announcement was so long, but I hope that was helpful. So, shalom, salam, shlama. Talk to you soon.